I just had the chance to test the new disc board and Wavecatcher foil by hydrofoil.de. Huge shoutouts to the guys for giving me the equipment to test it, and yeah, after 5 sessions it's time for a first impressions video. So first of all, the foil is super nicely packed in this handy travel bag which fits multiple front wings and multiple masts. I had the Wavecatcher and the Dockstarter front wing in there, plus the 2 different mast lengths, and it works properly. Then when building it up, the first thing I realized, the disc board has like a really cool structure. It's not like a 3K carbon or 12K carbon. It kind of looks different, but I really like the way it looks, and it also feels super rigid. So yeah, that's a pretty cool thing, and I also like the shape and how it's a bit deeper in the middle. What I'm not the biggest fan of at the moment is boards without volume, as it's not so easy to swim back on them. But yeah, it still properly works, and a lot of pump boards don't have any volume at all. Also, the foil can only be mounted in one position, which works perfectly for the Hydrofoil DE equipment, but could be a bit weird when riding it on other brands. Yeah, as your back foot can't get behind the mast, so it's always gonna be on the mast. And also when I try to ride the Wavecatcher on my own pocket board, where the back screws are like 15 centimeters from the back of the board, I had way too much front pressure. So yeah, would be cool to see an improvement of a second pair of screws in the board. Then for the foil, I really like the white for the front wing. I have the feeling some people love it, some people hate it, but I love it. And that's also due to the fact that in the waters we foil in, it's not so super clear, and you tend to don't see dark foils under the water surface. And yeah, with the Wavecatcher you see your foil all the time, and yeah, I really like that. And then also the shape looks super natural. It's kind of like yeah, just a really organic shape, and it also feels super intuitive. So that's a big plus. Then for the carving abilities, it goes around corners pretty quickly, and I really like that. So for its wingspan, it's super agile, and you can change the position of the stabilizer. And if you put it to the shortest fuselage setting, it's super maneuverable and agile, and yeah, it just feels really carvy. But I think the stabilizer is too big. I talked to the guys, and they said they will come out with a smaller stabilizer soon. But I would prefer riding a smaller stabilizer on it. But for the beginning, the bigger one should be perfectly suited as well. Then it's kind of a natural progression if you have the Dockstarter to go to the Wavecatcher, as it's a bit faster, it's way more maneuverable for sure, and just a sort of more progressive shape. That being said, it's still a pretty thick foil, and therefore you won't get super fast on it. I mean, you can properly accelerate it, and you can accelerate it really fast, but if it's fast, it won't stay fast. As yeah, if you get super fast, there's kind of a lot of drag, so you're more on the slower side of pumping. Yeah, which has positive and negative sides. One of the biggest positive sides, I would say, is you can basically start this foil from every position. Like every wok or something, you won't need a lot of speed, you can easily dead start it. And yeah, that's really beneficial for a lot of people who don't have access to, yeah, to the perfect dock. That being said, it's not the most efficient foil. Another thing which they should improve in the future is the mast stability, as the longer mast is too flexy for my taste. The shorter mast is perfectly fine, but with the long mast you feel it wobbling around, and it feels a bit too unstable being in a wake. But with the shorter mast it properly works, and it's meant to be ridden with the shorter mast. Also, one thing, the Wavecatcher front wing is extremely light, especially for its volume and its size. That being said, I don't think it's the most rigid construction, so I would be a bit careful to ride it into a rock or against a dock, but I didn't manage to break it or do anything. And the color code isn't holding up the best, so yeah, they might have to improve that. But yeah, they said they knew about the problem and that it's gonna be fixed in the future. So that being said, who is this foil for? I would say it's a natural progression from the Dockstarter, and properly suited for everybody who doesn't have like the perfect dock for one starts, because dead starts are super manageable on it. and it's extremely comfortable in small to medium speed boat rakes. For example, the rake of my own boat seems to be properly fitted to this foil, as it just stays in it and feels kind of intuitive, but once you get super fast there is too much drag to stay in the rake. That being said, it's not the most efficient foil, so you won't pump it as long as some of the other pump foils, which stay really efficient, but still it's a lot of fun, and especially the carving feels super intuitive on it. And if you have any more questions about the foil, let me know in the comments, and if you're interested in buying it, check out the website of hydrofoil.de.